Good evening. So I'll take a songbook and turn to page 167. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. Some of you may have heard this song before and not know it. But I'd like everybody grab the songbook and we'll sing together. Charlie, grab your book so you can at least read along with us. Okay? We'll try to sing this. I don't think we've ever sung this as a congregational song, but I love the song. Okay? Page 167. You got it? As I journey through the land, singing as I go, pointing souls to Calvary, to the crimson flow. Many arrows pierce my soul from without within, but my Lord leads me on, through him I must win. Oh, I want to see him, look upon his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice, cares all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Everybody know that song? Okay. Two raised their hand to know it. Marlon just adjusted his glasses. I thought he was going up with it. If Marlon had raised his hand, it had been half the congregation. Okay. So now you've heard it. How many of you heard that for the first time just now? Anybody just heard it for the first time? Let's sing the first verse over again. Okay. Here we go. As I journey through the land, singing as I go, pointing souls to Calvary, to the crimson flow. Many arrows pierce my soul from without within, but my Lord leads me on, through him I must win. Oh, I want to see him, look upon his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice, cares all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Last verse. When before me billows rise from the mighty deep, then my Lord directs my bark, he does safely keep, and he leads me gently on through this world below. He's a real friend to me, oh, I love him so. Oh, I want to see him, look upon his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice, cares all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Thank you very much. You can have a seat. Y'all sound pretty good. The first time singing that. Now that we just call that choir practice, or 1, 2. So all of you meet me in the front row of the choir next Sunday morning, 11 o'clock, and that will be our choir practice, and we'll sing that song. Got it? Thanks for volunteering. Okay. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Does anybody have a spoken prayer request? Okay. And we didn't mention this Sunday, but Stevie's mom passed away Stevie back in the back row. His mom passed away last Saturday night, and the services this Sunday. Just keep his family in your prayers, and any lost family members that we've seen saved. Okay, the family, they'll be comforted at this time. Okay. All right. Anybody else? Pray for those that are traveling this week on vacation. Vacation season started, and pray for Vacation Bible School. And we'll get into talk about Bible School in just a few minutes. Jared, will you lead us in prayer? Amen. I'm going to talk to you for just a couple minutes about Bible school. Okay, it starts a week from Monday, it's 22nd through the 26th. Several people already know what they're doing. If you don't know what your schedule is for Vacation Bible School, Charlie, did you sign up to teach? Are you teaching? Okay, that's what I assume too. That's where we signed you. So Charlie's going to be teaching. I think Michelle's also teaching. So Jared or somebody may help. We might say, Charlie, I'm going to help you with the teaching class, or just arm wrestle kids or whatever needs to be done. Duct tape? No, we don't use duct tape. That's bad people do that. Okay, we hold them down, whatever needs to be done, just to help them. If you have not been assigned to duty or haven't volunteered for something, let us know. Just show up Monday night. It's from 6:30 to 8:30 from 22nd to the 26th. And a lot of times people are just floaters. There's I think Tracy Cummings asked Tammy, and then Tammy said, "We looked on her list. So what did Tracy do last year? Well, last year she helped some with the food. She helped some with the crafts. She went around, took a whole bunch of pictures, and just kind of floated around wherever the need was each night. And if you haven't been assigned to something, then just let us know if you want to work in some area, but you haven't let us know yet. Just let us know for sure what you're going to do with that." And his question has been asked. We have families that have called us this week about picking the kids up on the vans. We're not. We can't. I don't think we can do that yet. I mentioned this to some back in before you a few minutes ago. There was a church that had 8. If I remember the numbers right, just hearing it on the radio. There's 8 church members came down with COVID-19. One of the church members had never even had not been in the church building since March, but just in the last week or so, then the church opened back up. Of course, a lot of things have opened up. So they said, everyone, people in the community were saying they're all sick because they went to church. Okay, well, I don't think they got sick because they went to church, because they all shop at the same store. If it's a Piggly Wiggly or Dollar General, they all go to the same store. Grab the handles to go in or whatever it is. So we want all the kids to come, but we don't want to go pick them up at this point, because of the accusations of my kids got sick because you came. Even we're going to ask the parents to drop the kids off, and someone did that tonight, and we have them sign a paper when they drop. If the parents are dropping the kids off and leaving, then they sign a paper, liability release forms. If the child gets sick, the girl whose mom signed her paper tonight, if she was to get sick tomorrow, it's probably not from here. It may be from the ball field, or maybe from a cousin, or maybe from stopping Piggly Wiggly this evening or whatever. But we just want to make sure that we're not held responsible, and that's why we can't run the vans. Anybody got questions on that? That's why we're doing it. It's just like a precautionary thing. We look at it and say we want as many kids to come as possible. We want to reach as many families as we can. But then on the other side of it, we don't want the liability of it, accusations. Okay. So we want to make it really big for the kids that do come, right? The kids that are here, for Josiah and Hazel and Charlie's kids, and Nick and Heather's girls. The ones that are here, we want to make it. It's going to be a big deal to see the decorations, the preparation, all this done. People get excited about. Jill was talking to Tammy Sunday afternoon about the food prep for Vacation Bible School. She gets excited about that. She's looking forward to that. And her friend comes, and her friend brings her grandson, has brought, I think granddaughter too, has brought them to the last 2 or 3 years of Vacation Bible School. Her friend doesn't come any other time during the year, and doesn't bring the kids any other time during the year, and they don't go anywhere else. They don't live a mile from here, but they get excited about coming to Bible school. Okay, so we want them. We want it to be big for those who come. Okay, any questions about that? Okay, all right. What book were you in, Charlie? Charlie wasn't here last Wednesday night. He's on vacation. He's in Florida. Daniel, that's right. Right, in the book of Daniel. 2 weeks ago, we looked at Daniel chapter 7. We made a comparison between how God sees the kingdoms of the earth, and gold and silver, how man sees as gold and silver and brass and iron, and how God sees them in a different way, as if they're animals, or compares them to beasts, a lion or a bear or a leopard, or like the Roman Empire is a beast that Daniel couldn't even describe the beast, except they had iron teeth and just destroyed everything in its sight. It was Roman Empire. Okay. We looked at that. It's in Daniel chapter 7. But we went over that, and then last week we went into Daniel chapter 8, which is just telling the story about a vision that Daniel saw in the difference between the Medo-Persian Empire and the Greek Empire. The Medo-Persian rose in power, and then the Greek Empire came and wiped them out completely. Okay, I'm going to go back to chapter 7, and we'll read a couple verses. Daniel chapter 7, look at verse 24. We'll read 2 verses and stop, and then we'll go into a couple things and come back. Okay, 24. And the 10 horns of his kingdom were 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he should subdue 3 kings. Look up this way. In the last kingdom that is described in the
in the image that Nebuchadnezzar saw, when God revealed it to him, to Nebuchadnezzar, there was gold and then silver and then brass, and different, like Babylonian Empire, Middle Persian Empire, Greek Empire, Grecian Empire, and then the Roman Empire was the legs and the feet, and then the feet had the feet were mixed with clay and iron as a mixture, then bond together, and it's divided up into 10 kingdoms, 10 different nations, basically. We mentioned a couple of weeks ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago, when the European Union talked about the 10 different nations coming together, and I said, man, this is a 10-nation thing, but it's falling apart already. But our time, and looking at it at present time, we don't see everything that God sees. In this, God says, he refers to it in verse 24, it's the same thing as the 10 toes in the other vision, okay? We'll read 24 again. And the 10 horns out of his kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise. That's like coming out of the Roman Empire. And another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. So one of these 10 kings is going to rise up different from the other 10 kingdoms. It'd be like if you had, I'm going to use the European Union, but I don't know this is what that is, okay? If you had 10 nations in a union, and then one pops up that says, I'm going to control everything, and wipes out 3, okay? Wipes out the king of 3 of those nations and says, everyone follow me, okay? And everyone kind of falls in line with him, okay? Let's go on. Okay, verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, talking about God. So this one king who rises up, lifts himself up above all the other kings, hates God with a passion. He will speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. That's Christians, that's us, okay? So this king that's going to arise, that has not arose up yet, has not risen to prominence yet, according to, if I understand this right, he's going. The whole world's going to listen to this king because he hates God with a passion, and he's going to go after Christians as hard as he can to destroy the Christians. Okay. So wear out the saints of Most High, and think to change the times and laws, and they shall be given in his hand until a time and times and a divided times, 3.5 years. But so this guy who hates God with a passion, this king, this world leader of all the known empires, this world leader is going to stand up. That's also a beast in the New Testament, in the Revelation. He's going to stand up, and he hates God. He's going to speak against God, and he's going to trample down the saints of God, the children of God, us, okay? The ones that are in his presence. He'll destroy as many as he can, okay? This question keeps coming back to me and says, why? Why would someone be that way, okay? Everybody's probably watched the riots in the streets and everything's gone on for the last 2 weeks, right? Why? Why do it? What is to gain by throwing bricks through a glass window? What is to gain by torching a little grocery store in the corner? What is to gain by that? Is there anything to gain from that? Makes everybody else afraid. Right. Okay. Have you heard any of these people giving speeches that really speak out against God? Not really yet. Okay. They're so far, I haven't heard of it. They have. Okay. There may be some. There has been in the past. One governor about 2 months ago, when their COVID-19 numbers stopped, when their state's COVID-19 numbers went down, he made a governor in one of the states, United States, said God had nothing to do with this. Okay, this all came. The numbers are going down because we locked everybody in their homes and their apartments and did the social distancing thing. Okay, he spoke against God too. Right? That's different. Okay. Why would somebody hate God that much that this king is mocking God, speaking against God? Why would he? Why would he hate God that much? Any idea why? Because he's not, Marlon says. I agree. Why attack the people of God? You ever see somebody that's really good get attacked? You ever see somebody doing the right thing? You ever see a sports person, a baseball player, football player, basketball player that's just really good, and everybody hates them because they're good? Okay, like a jealousy type thing. When Satan wrote, let's go to the book of Isaiah. When Satan rebelled against God, he said, "I will exalt my throne." He was here's the comment. Here's the angels of God. There's three archangels. He's one of the three archangels, and God's on the throne above. He said, "I'll exalt my throne." Satan did, because Lucifer, because he said, "I just don't want him to tell me what to do." Okay, he would change the verse says he would change the and think to change times and laws. He wants to change all the laws. Okay, not just Roman Empire laws, all the natural laws of mankind. Okay, can you change the law of gravity? How many times do I try to drop that? If I drop it 100 times, how many times will it hit the pulpit? 100, right? Can you change the laws? Can you change the laws of sowing and reaping? No. Do I? Talk about that. I'm glad we have speakers. We're going to have microphones out in Thursday afternoon. Charlie, if you'll be here, you can help Dave Castor hit microphones in the ceiling. And if some statements should go on the internet, some statements probably should not. Okay, we'll stop right there. Okay, they're going to change laws, natural laws of man. Okay, he wants to. This man wants to. This king will want to, or this dominion, this king that's leading this, because of his hatred towards God. And it's almost like, okay, when Cain sinned in the Garden of Eden, he brought a sacrifice. He brought something from the earth, whether it was wheat or vegetables or whatever it was. So he brought something he grew out of his garden. He brought it as a sacrifice to God, and God said, "Leave it there and go to the door. Sin lieth at the door. Just step outside the door, and there's a lamb that's going to jump into your arms, and you bring a blood sacrifice. All you got to do is do what I told you to do." And Cain was mad about it. Okay, first man ever born, physically born here on this earth. He was mad at God, and because God would not accept his sacrifice, and he accepted his brother's sacrifice, he went and killed his brother. Right? It's an anger that most people have if they can't find, if they don't know who God is. They develop this anger against him. That's what this man has in Daniel chapter 7. This king. I don't want, like Lucifer, I don't want to be above God. I just want to be equal with God so I can decide for myself what's right and wrong. Okay? Does that make sense? Look around the room. About everybody in this room has children or has raised children. You know what's the biggest struggle with kids is? As they're growing up, you're in charge. They don't know it yet. You got to teach them that you're in charge. Like Charlie did that. Has Charlie Boy known from day one that you're in charge? Pretty much. Someday he's going to want to be equal. While you're still over him, he's going to want to be equal with you and make decisions for himself. Okay, and say, "I'll do it my way." Right? Did anyone else do that? You been in this room? Did you do that towards your parents? Or did you want to be the boss? When it wasn't time for you to be the boss yet? Okay. Anybody do that at work, or you work with somebody that always wanted to be in charge? I've worked with people like that. They always want to be in charge. They have no idea what they're doing. Okay. They should not be in charge of anything. Okay. It's a wonder they can find their way to the job site some days, but they always want to be in charge. Okay. It's just a natural tendency of man that I don't want someone else telling me what to do. And if they can't shrug that off, go back to Romans chapter 1, read through the whole chapter. It's almost like when they knew God, they glorified him not as God. They said, "I just don't want him to tell me what to do." So his hatred or resentment builds up. Okay. We want to change times and laws. But what is the most desirable thing about God that you think that's opposite of what this person has? This man hates God for a reason. Hates the laws, hates the rules, hates everything about him, hates holiness. There's one thing that sticks out to me that I love about God. Okay, not just his mercy, his forgiveness, and all those things. It is his faithfulness that he never changes. He's here. No matter who tries to climb up, be equal with him, or try to go above him, they're not going to change. Right? And he's not going to change what he thinks or what is right and wrong. He's not going to change what he says. That's why most of the Bibles, there's been 100 and some different versions of the Bible come out in the last 140 years. That most of them just want to change because they want to change what God says just to make them so they don't feel bad about who they are, right? Because if we're guilty of something, or if we can eradicate that one, okay. One of the mainline denominations, I read this past week, one of the mainline Christian denominations in the United States is referring to God, no matter who he or she is. Okay? You just left something. You just lost something, right? Your elevator doesn't go all the way to the top, all these bad jokes. But we want to change it, all right? Doesn't change. Never has changed. Forever, oh Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. But man says, okay, I don't like him being always the same. I love that he's always the same. When Pastor Pirate songs, when kids songs, all praise his name, he's always the same. And he's always the same. I won't sing it right now. Okay, one of the adult songs, one of my favorite adult songs ever, is "Great Is Thy Faithfulness." Because God, check out, you went to school with Jared, sung that song. Soloist, we had a CD. No, okay, his brother worked with you in Arizona. Jake, his version of that song, "Great Is Thy Faithfulness," I listened to that 1,000 times. I used to listen to that almost every day when I was driving to work. Okay, why? Because God is always the same, and that's what people hate about it. He's not going to change. But my circumstances are different. It doesn't make any difference. But I don't feel that way. It doesn't matter what your feelings are, because he doesn't change. Okay? Any questions about that? If he's omniscient, knows everything, knows what's right and wrong, right? He's pure holiness and pure love. With all that in mind, he doesn't change, and that's why people hate him. Okay? Most men basically think that their rules are better than God's rules. They're not. Okay? Let's look at that. Look at verse 26 and 27. Let me a couple more verses. Because we know this always happens, because God always wins. Right? Verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, that's that king, to consume it and destroy it unto the end. They're going to wipe that thing out completely. God's going to make this happen. And the kingdom and dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. That's us, okay? Whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom. It's not like our kingdom, it's his, but he puts us, he allows us to be in charge of our realm, whatever our little realm is. And all dominions shall serve and obey him, not us, him. All dominions shall serve and obey God. And he always wins, okay? Look at chapter 8, I think it's the right verse. Last week we talked about the ram and the male goat, which was the Medo-Persian Empire and the Grecian Empire, and the same thing happens here. And out of one of them came forth a little horn. This is out of after Alexander the Great passed away, and the Grecian Empire was divided up basically into 4 kingdoms. And one of those kings, the Assyrian king, went down into Jerusalem to completely annihilate, say, 171 AD or BC, wanted to completely destroy Jerusalem and annihilated the temple, and went and offered a sacrifice of a pig and different things. Antiochus Epiphanes, I think is his name. Okay, and one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land, that's Jerusalem or Israel. And it waxed great even the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them. This is like he went to Israel and destroyed everything they had left. Okay, yea, he magnified himself into the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of the sanctuary was cast down. That was in Jerusalem, the temple. And a host was given him against the daily sacrifice by reason of transgression, and it cast down the truth to the ground and practiced and prospered. What's that verse? Let's go back and repeat what we did on the Roman Empire, the little horn. Then this is the Grecian Empire. It does the same thing on specifically taxed Jews or Israel. Okay, and God wipes them out. And heard one saying, speaking one to another, verse 13. How long shall be concerning the daily sacrifice and transgression of desolation to give both sanctuary to the host? That's not the verse I was looking for. He gives a time, but at the end of it, God still wins that battle too. Okay, though He's given opportunities to go down and destroy Israel, God comes back and wins that battle too. And every time that someone rises up against God, every time the end is the same. It doesn't matter which world powers there are, Middle Persian Empire, Grecian Empire, Roman Empire, it doesn't really matter. This is verse 25. Keep looking in the wrong place. Verse 23. In the latter times of the kingdom, when the transgressors come to full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sense shall stand up. His power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. This is an evil king, and shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And through his policy, sounds like a politician right there. And through his policy, he shall cause craft, like witchcraft, to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. And by peace shall destroy many. But so there's a world leader who's going to stand up and say, I can control peace. I can lead everybody into peace. Okay? But he'll use that peace to destroy everybody around it. He shall also stand up against the Prince of Princes, that's Jesus, but he shall be broken without hand. Okay? So it's the same story over and over again. The world leader is going to rise up, and he's going to lead everybody by peace this time instead of by war, even though he's just trampled all over the Jews or Christians at the time. And he's going to lead everybody by peace. Sounds like a politician of today. We're going to have peace. A recent politician, somebody not in politics right now, on one side he was saying peace, peace, peace. And on the other side he was always saying, go get him. Go destroy it. Go destroy it. Go destroy it. On one news channel he was saying, we're looking for peace. On a private conversations, he was sending people out to cause the riots that are going on today, okay, and leading them out to the riots. A lot of evil men have been that way. There's a book we read 10 years ago called Son of Hamas, whose father was the leader of Hamas, and talked about the PLO Yasser Arafat would get on TV. It was on like CNN every day and say, we're being attacked by these Jews, we're being attacked by the Jews. And he said, I don't know where those bombs come from, but that young man would say, Yasser Arafat would come back to his house and meet with his dad, and they would plan out the next attack. And they knew what the attacks were going to be every single day. They knew the Palestinians were attacking the Jews, but then they come on TV. They said, we want peace, but they had no idea. They had no clue for peace. They didn't want it. Okay, world powers often hate God for no reason. Maybe because he's holy and just and perfect and right and righteous. He demands this of all. But the hatred never subsides, and God wins every time. The same with our personal problems. Okay? You ever have a personal issue, personal problem, okay, with work, finances, home, school, whatever it is. Can't get along with the neighbors. I had a good friend one time, couldn't get along with any of his neighbors. He said, they're all crazy. I thought, maybe it's not the neighbors, brother, maybe it's you. They can't get along with everybody. But no matter what that problem is, we can get mad about it, or we can yield to God on whatever that situation is, because he always knows what's best. Okay? Well, it's world kingdoms that we're talking about in the book of Daniel, or a personal issue with our life, we either get mad because God didn't do things our way, or we can say, okay, what do you want? You got my attention. I'll yield to you. Okay? Any questions? Comments? Let's pray with this. Thank you, Lord, for loving us. I don't know if all the times we read the history and look at his reply to us, but help us in our heart of hearts not to ever get mad at you for not letting things go our way like these kings have done in the past. Not to ever turn against you or turn against your people. And knowing that you always win, I pray that you'll use us in a way that will always be yielded to you. I pray that you bless our church family. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Thanks for coming out tonight.